Hello and welcome to the video. Today we are driving the M240i. I want to say a massive thank you to the guys at Cotswold BMW for lending me this car for a couple of hours to basically drive it, film it and give you guys a review on my impressions of what I think of the M240i. They've also got some incredible stock. We'll have a little look inside and go walk around. They've basically got the colours of the rainbow in G42 M4 format. Now, as many of you will know, I've just picked up a 718 GT4, but prior to that I had an M2 competition in Long Beach Blue. I want to know if it's worth selling your M2 comp, or M2 in general, to buy one of these M240i's. I've got a lot of friends who are actually doing that specific journey and that routine or that goal. They are selling their M2 comp for an M240i, and I want to understand why they're doing that. This is an all-wheel drive platform. You're back to the B58 ZF gearbox, which I've also experienced before because I had an M140i before my M2 comp. So it's going to be lovely to get back into this and experience it again after having a 2-year ownership with an M140i and a 2-year ownership with an M2 competition. This is also heavier than my M2 comp. It's not rear-wheel drive. It's not got a DCT gearbox. It's got OPFs, one less turbo. I want to see what this is like. So I've deliberately stayed away from a lot of reviews. I want to give you guys my first proper impression, what I think of the car. I mean, first of all, it looks actually really good in person. There was a lot of controversy when it came out on Instagram, but in person, as always, when you see a car in person, they look a lot better. Let's jump in. In fact, no, let's have a look around inside and then we'll jump in and we can have a little talk about why maybe you should look at the M240i. Right, so without shouting too loudly in the dealership, this is probably the best corner in Cotswold BMW's showroom. See what I mean about Skittles? They have a Brooklyn Grey X-Drive G42, or the M4 convertible basically. I'll keep my opinions to myself about convertible M4s. I think it's great, you can hear all the sound that comes out the back, but shape-wise, yeah. This is, I think, my favourite part of the showroom today though. We've got I think, fire orange M4, a Sao Paulo yellow M4, which obviously isn't really yellow, it's kind of a greeny mint colour, and an actual yellow M4, and I absolutely love this. I think it's decided if I were to get an M3 M4, I want it in this colour. It is individual paint. It will cost you quite a bit of money, but I think it's really nice. It's really punchy. It's different to the kind of flat yellow that you get in the GT4. It's kind of a bit of a signal yellow. It's really nice, really punchy. But next to all of the other two colours, it looks lovely. And then finally, an M4 GTS, which is always here in the Cotswold showroom, and it's lovely to see. I mean, I'd love to experience these one day. So if I get enough likes and views on this video, maybe Cotswold BMW will let me take this out to experience. One can dream, right? And finally, an M2 CS with the frozen gold wheels. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Right, let's head out. Let's drive the M240i. Let's get going. Right, let's have a little look at the exterior of the car. The car is painted in Portimao blue, and as I said in the intro, it's actually very, very nice in person. I would actually buy one of these as a second daily car for next to the GT4. It's very, very nice. It still has that kind of M2 shape, if that makes sense. You've got the lovely bonnet at the top. We've got M mirror caps on an M light, which is a little bit controversial. It's got the wider hips at the back like the old M2, but they aren't as pronounced as the M2 was. This angle right here, it looks lovely. It's a really, really nice car. I actually do really like it. I think the back is where most people are talking about this car. It does look a little bit like Sid the Sloth. I'm not a fan of these square exhaust tips. I prefer the oval ones, and I know Jack from Auto ID has actually just bought one of these and he's put an exhaust on it already, and he's put circle exhaust tips either side, which just make the car look a lot better. The car is very angular as well. These lights, they pop out. This kind of pops out. They've given it this kind of ducktail spoiler, but then stuck a spoiler on top. This sticks out. This all sticks out. It's all a bit angular at the back, which looks a bit odd. But I think you can get used to it after a while. I think overall the car actually looks really nice. I do really, really like it actually, and I'm not just saying that. I do like the clean door handle, and then the interior is, you know, standard brand new G series BMW interior with the digital display now. This is a bit odd. I'm not sure about all these kind of grooves and bumps. I'm not sure about this weird shiny plastic that's going on the inside of the door as well. Yeah. Other than that though, I think as a package, the car looks really nice. Really, really nice. And I do really like this colour as well. So yeah, as a whole, I'm a big, big fan. Right, let's try a little launch control, right? Because it's 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds. The Sports Plus, DSC fully off, all-wheel drive. Let's go. Oh Lord. Oh wow. Head got a bit lightheaded there. That really, really launches well. Oh my Lord. No wheel spin whatsoever. That's on par with like Tesla EV electric launch control. Wow. Wow, I need to do another one. Wow, dear me. The way that launches, that is 100% 3.6 seconds. Right, let's try that again. Foot on the brake. I could do that all day. Wow, that is fun. No wheel spin. That just takes off. Wow. Okay, launch control over the M2 comp takes my win. Takes a win for the M240i. I don't even know which tyres we're running. The little kidney grill nostrils have opened up to try and cool the engine down, which is very cool. And there they are closing. And what kind of tyres are we running here? These are the Cup 2s, I think. No, they're the Pilot 4S's. So, Michelin Supersport Pilot 4S's, front and rear, with all-wheel drive. That will be why we were getting such mental launches. Wow. Right, whilst we wait for these cyclists to move so I can do a massive launch, this is the interior from the inside. I wanted to show you, if from a tech perspective, we've now got heads-up display as well, which is pretty cool. We didn't have that in the M2, but I'm missing, and I wish it had an exhaust button, and I wish it had the M1, M2 button configuration, so I can kind of flip between the two. But when I choose Sport, I do have the option to go to my individual, Sport Plus, or Standard. And then when I go to Comfort, it's Comfort, Eco, Pro as well. And we have adaptive suspension also. So that's something that we didn't have in the M2 Comp. So I'll be sticking with Sport Plus, and we'll do a quick little fly off from here. Okay, all right, so what's this car been like to drive? Obviously I've been having some fun driving it for the drive-bys, etc., and I've had some time to kind of learn the car a little bit. The big question is this fun to drive, right? The answer is yes. Immediately I notice the steering is so light. The brake pedal is really soft. The whole car feels very, very soft. It's very easy to drive, and that's what you expect, right, from an M-Lite. This is a massive upgrade from the M140i that I used to drive. That was basically a 1 Series with a big engine in it. This, you can tell BMW put more time and effort into making this more of a driver's car. But this versus the M2 Comp, the M2 Comp is still a proper sports car. It's still a proper M car. That was stiff, the steering was stiff, the ride was stiff. I could daily drive it. I did it on motorway miles, I did a lot of driving in it. But this is a better road car. It's so comfortable. I could own this and buy one of these alongside my GT4, because on the motorway, cruising around, commuting to work, this is enjoyable, right? And then when I hit some fun, twisty country roads, it's fast and fun. For £50,000, which is what this is now worth, mental, right? An M2 on Auto Trader is now around about £40,000. Or you could buy a brand new M240i for £50,000. Which one do you pick up? A lot of the reason why a lot of my friends are selling their M2 comps and buying M240i's is the new M2 is gonna be about £65,000. That's way out of their price range, because when they bought the M2 comp, it was £50,000. So they're looking at the £50,000 price range bracket. They're also thinking this is more of a daily drivable car. The all-wheel drive, this car will make this absolutely fantastic in the wet and in the winter. In the M2 Comp, my car was pretty useless unless I had the PS4S tyres on it, which made it a much better car to drive, because the PS4S tyres are so fantastic. But this being all-wheel drive, I'll still be able to pin it out of a corner, pin it in straight lines, in the wet, in the winter, and still have that fun. So, back to the question, do you buy a £40,000 M2 Comp on Auto Trader, or do you buy a brand new £50,000 M240i? Now, finance-wise, you're going to get a better percentage APR interest rate on a brand new car. You're talking 3-4%. On an Auto Trader, a used car, you know, talking to the guys at Charles and Dean, you're going to be looking at 7-8% interest, right? So from that perspective, the new car wins. You also get new warranty. You get all the new tech that comes with it. You get a brand new model that not many people own. But if I'm just talking driving experience, wanting to feel like you're in a proper race car, proper track car, the M2 Comp wins it for me. It was just raw. The S55 pulled really aggressively. It felt angry when it was driving. You had the ability to do drifts, and because it was rear-wheel drive, you were always alert because you wanted to make sure that you didn't bin it into a hedge. This feels very, very safe when you're driving it, and it's a lot easier to drive. However, it is fun to drive. And that's the main thing here. This is, BMW have achieved the ability to build a fun driving car. And they've done that. So if you do buy this car, you will be very, very happy. BMW M cars have always been notoriously great cars, and the M flavour and the DNA has definitely been brought down into this car. And so, to answer the question, the title of the video, should you chop in your M2 comp to buy an M2? It really decides what you're looking for. Me personally, I mean, I've bought a GT4 which is low down to the ground, pretty stiff. No, I wouldn't sell my M2 comp for an M240i, but for a lot of people who want a softer ride, something that's still fun and fast, that they can use all the time and take on the track now and again, this M240i is a fantastic replacement for the M2 comp. So with that, thank you very much for watching. If you're new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe, the usual anyway, and I'll see you later in the next video. So just to kind of compare Portimao Blue versus my dad's C63, here's the difference in colour between the two. Portimao Blue is slightly brighter than the C63. It's kind of got a darky, more purple hue to it than the Portimao Blue. But it's not powerful, right? Because it's 380 odd bhp, but torque, plenty of it. Oh, such a step up from the M140, but not as angry as the M2 comp was. It will keep up with an M2 comp, not on track though. The pedal feels soft, so soft. It also feels rear-wheel drive. It doesn't feel like the all-wheel drive system is taking over too much and kind of preventing you from having fun. It grips well, but it still feels like you're getting that rear shove rather than a front pull. But I wonder if turning, say, going into MDM, if you could maybe drift it a little as well. Well, you can still have a bit of fun. I mean, this is fun round town because it's so torquey, low down. I'm only going up to the speed limit. I'm not even going past 25 miles an hour. It's so nippy around town. A few burbles, I can hear a few pops. But I mean, it's pretty negligible. It's so quiet. It's nippy though, nippy around town. Not even breaking the speed limit.